party people in the place to be, vandals, and all you other hip bears out there hiding bodies in the forest. This is a brand new body hiding episode of How'd We Get There? And tonight, man, I'm really excited to be talking about this one, and I'm really happy to have the panel that we have. We're going to be talking about Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees by Patrick Horvath from IDW. And damn, this book, am I right, you guys?
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it. Very much so.
I mean, and I gotta say, man, like the whole covers and everything, like I have not seen a better piece of advertisement than this cover. Like I was just sold at the shop.
Yeah.
I literally hadn't heard anything about it. Like I bought it just because I saw that at the LCS, and then I came back and saw everybody else on socials kind of tweeting about it. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not the only one that looked at that and just like, yes. Yeah, look at that bear dragging a bloody sack. That looks good.
Shout out to Chris. Thanks for tuning in the chats. So, I mean, I didn't know anything about this book. I didn't even notice it when it was in the solicits when it first came out for pre-order. Then all of a sudden I saw it popping up on Twitter and socials and stuff. People were just ranting and raving about it. So once I actually got around to reading it, it was good. I mean, it's one of those things where you take some, like the contrast of the style of the book with the subject matter. It's not completely original, but it's the way Patrick did it in this. It was really well done. Like, it harkens back to like maybe, what was it, a few years back with the dogs there, where the serial killer would take the people's dogs, like kind of
stray dogs.
Stray dogs, exactly.
Yeah.
You take like that style, like a child's either movie, book, or that kind of style, and you put it into this incredibly dark and twisted story. The contrast of the two things like competing or butting heads, like the styles, it just adds a little, that little magical element to it that just makes it that much more enjoyable. So yeah, I really dug it.
Right, like he had a gimmick, but like damn, did he work it really really well in this book by having the anthropomorphic characters, but then the kind of implicit brutality of our main character, and the way, oh man, I don't want to get into that already, but yeah, like there's a specific brutality in this book that like I didn't see coming, and when you get to that part of the book, you're just like, wow,
yeah,
it's going that
graphic.
hard.
It's pretty graphic.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of it?
It was way more brutal than I was expecting.
Okay.
Like, because I had an idea that it was going to be like animals and murder and whatnot, but I thought it was going to be more lighthearted and funny, and it really isn't. So, but I still like it. I still think it's very very interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens going forward.
Elle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking forward to this book for a minute. I saw some preview pages a few months ago, and but I kind of clocked out mentally about it because I was like, oh, that's so long from now. Like, I'm not even worried about it. And then it was out. And it was like, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the man versus animal themes, because there is an instance where that's explored, which was really cool. Philosophically, the difference between being self-aware or not, or knowing what you are, especially presented with what you are. And that might not have made sense, but it did in my head.
I didn't think of that, where she meets the bear in the woods.
Yeah.
One is the like Johnny said, the whatever fucking tongue twister word. How do you say it, Johnny?
What separates you?
Anthropomorphic
character versus the actual animal character.
Yeah.
I like that exploration of what separates you from being a monster. Why is one a monster and one isn't when they do the same thing? The intention, the
well, one is for survival.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
as a philosophical question.
Yeah.
Like, I know the answer, but
Yeah.
it was
No,
cool
but I
how,
meant-
yeah, it was cool
but I
how
meant
it was
it's-
presented.
But I don't know how could it even be a question, really?
Mm.
Because they're not even.
Well, but you see bears in the wild playing, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and even for her, maybe that is a survival thing for her. Maybe that's what's
Maybe.
keeping her hinged.
And that part too, the reveal where she came back to town, right? And then she went and traveled the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many. Now you opened it up, right? With that, I was like, man, you could go anywhere. Follow her on her travels, and just the crazy stories he could branch off after this arc, like jumping around in time from her going to college, from and all that stuff, and following like so many different storylines that can come from just this first issue. Like it opens up so many doors for other thread lines, storylines possible coming from this. So
because I love Dexter, the books, the show, it got to a point where it wasn't. And but I love,
motherfucker.
I love, and I saw on League where it was like described as like Richard Scarry meets Dexter, and I was like, that's like the perfect summation. And I usually don't like it when people are like, it's this meets this, but that was such a perfect, succinct thing. And I just love a murderer who's like very tidy and exact. And so that was actually aesthetically pleasing for me.
Mm-hmm.
The whole act of murder, the cleanup, the process of all of that.
Oh no, that upset me.
Oh no.
I appreciate the effort, but I was like, oh my god.
I was like, look at this. What an easy cleanup. Let me take notes.
No.
Yes, everything neat and everything tidy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her rules at the beginning where camp has to be far away, has to be somebody random.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
in a big city, a bustling city where you don't even know your neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Like, like I lived 5 years in Montreal. There were 2 apartments on the top floor, and my neighbor just across from me never knew her name ever in 4 years. Like, didn't even know her name.
Saying you
murdered her?
Yeah.
No.
You like
Allegedly he did.
I only know one of my neighbors, and I live in like a area that has like 300 residents. I only know one of my neighbors, and I only know, well, that's lying. I know 2. But the one that I know for real is always strung out. And she's always leaving food at my door that I don't trust. And she also...
It's a nice gesture, though.
Yeah. She also, like, shit her pants in the hallway. And I was, like, leaving my apartment, and she goes, do you smell that? And I'm looking at her like, I know it's you, but I didn't want to like embarrass her. So I was like, wow, yeah, let me get a hold of maintenance or something. And she was like, yeah, do that. She's holding the wall and her cheeks are squeezed. Like you could tell that she's holding it.
Oh my God.
I was like, just go inside. Please stop. And, but I hope, I haven't seen her in a while. So I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay. And then my other neighbor lost their ferret. And I worry every day that it's going to pop up in my apartment. But other than that, I've watched like Fear Thy Neighbor on Discovery, so I try not to
trust no one.
Yes.
That's not bad. That's not a bad show, Fear Thy Neighbor. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty good.
Yeah. You said I've taken that show scares me more than anything because I feel but like the book too. It's like the people the closest, and it's like you're like one argument or disagreement away, one bad, choice of words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like they say, it's that classic trope of, oh, they were the nicest, most quiet person, always super polite, always, and those are usually often the people you should watch out for the most, right?
Not
and then it's like
it's
every
nice
like how well do you really know somebody?
Yeah.
Because it would definitely be Johnny, like of this stream right now. I feel like he's the nicest person here, so it's probably him. That's why the no camera. You're like, you're not on camera.
Yeah, so you can't. All the flesh masks hanging on his wall behind him, I think I'm ready to get into very specific things about the book, like for spoilers and stuff. Like that's pretty much broad. Unless you guys want to touch on something else in a more broad. Yep.
This Riley Rossimo cover, man. Like I'm not
it's
one
so
for,
good.
for variants, but like, dude, like they only have one for this book, but damn, is it just tasty, man. Like
It's
Riley,
good.
Even the trade on it was good. I love the font that they used, the retro feel to it. Yeah.
If they do a hardcover, they got to do like that style.
Yes. Or do they have to do like what is it called? Like little golden books? They have to do like
Yes.
a version for that. That would be great.
Where all the pages are like cardboard, solid.
Yeah.
That would be. I would
be
buy
so
that.
cute.
I'm serious.
A
I
limited,
would buy that.
a first issue in that style, like just
Yes.
a limited run where it's like, yeah, I'm sure people would buy it like crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've seen variants using it, but I'm talking about cardboard, like proper, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
do the whole production, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so like Joseph said, since this book's been out for a week, and we figure a lot of people have read it, we're gonna switch over to a spoiler mode. This is a first issue, so we're gonna go into detail with it. It's not gonna spoil the book in general, but like, you've been warned. I'm gonna play this terrifying siren for you.
Spoilers! Spoilers! Spoilers!
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Into it, we're like literally gonna talk about the book now.
Yeah, about everything. Like, if you haven't read it yet, now's probably a good time to tune out. If you're the type of person that doesn't like to know anything about the book, well, change the channel and read it, then come back and watch the second half of this episode. So for me, I enjoyed the book. I thought it was good. It was cute. It was fun. And like Cookie touched on, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't like a parody or anything. It was a very rooted, very serious story. And I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, Johnny's like, oh, this is so, like, he was raving about it, and Elle was pretty high on it. And then it's not till I got to that last page where and it's super sad too, where the Alzheimer goat
Martin.
It's Martin. It's revealed that Martin has been murdered in the town. And where what's the bear woman's name?
Samantha.
Samantha? Yeah, Sam has a very, very strict rule not to murder in her small town. She goes into the big city to murder people. And so now I'm like, oh, now it's on. You're going to have that serial killer hunting a serial killer type story that's going to happen now. And I was like, now I'm sold. That last page, I enjoyed it up till then, but it was really that last page. And they picked the most vulnerable character to do that to, which made that moment so much more sad and heartbreaking for me, that it was Martin.
The other thing is like Martin was such a sad character that like it made you think that like this new killer's such a dick. Then it made you forgo the savagery of Sam and her murdering, the fact that she's got 43 bodies and paint cans throughout the like, and you're willing to let that go because, oh, dude, this new killer's a bastard.
Yeah.
But look, but since we don't know anything about the people she's killed too, it's kind of like messed up of us too as the reader. Because it's like, oh, that duck could have been a heart surgeon saving the lives of babies.
That's true.
But
he was a cute little duck dude, man.
Yeah,
and a waste of meat, because I love me some duck. So for her to bury them in paint cans, I was like, oh, come on.
She's a serial killer, not a cannibal. Come on. That'd be going too far. That'd be taking it too far.
Different species.
That's true.
That's true.
Bears eat duck, maybe.
Yeah. If they can catch them. Yeah.
See, for me, when the book really took me aback, and I was like, damn, it was showing her method and like how they went with it, with like hanging them upside down and the screwdriver into the head. Like, I'm just like, wow.
Oh yeah,
in there.
They go in detail. Like they show the ritual, like the ritualistic aspect of, like, it's cathartic. It's almost like therapy for her, right? Like Elle was saying, like, she needs it, right? Yeah,
it's not savage. She's very humane about it. They're not awake. She makes sure they're not awake.
Yeah.
The cuts are precise. So I think, again, I don't even think it's the act of violence for her. It's the release. I don't think it's violence.
Do you have
a control thing, probably,
of the duck, Johnny?
I didn't want to show any of like the gory parts, so I have him alive. But like, no, I didn't want to show off. I wanted like that for people that haven't read it, or like I didn't want to spoil everything because like
experience it for yourself. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Little Bear?
Yeah.
I
Little
just
Bear's-
imagine the cartoon, like the kids' cartoon. I always like when I was reading it, I was like, "What if this is the origin story for Little Bear's mom before she had to go into seclusion?" Right?
No, I hate that.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Like if Pixar wants to impress me, man, like, roll this out. Like I want to. Like, I could see this after Inside Out and like Up and a couple of the movies. I could see them having an emotional serial killer bear movie, maybe. Like,
this would be great as like animated. Like that would I would.
It would.
Amazon, because you're doing Invincible. This is not so far out of the realm of that.
well, and
or even Adult Swim. Like it's not a comedy, but they have some more like Primal is more serious adult cartoon, you know. So yeah.
I know Scavenger's Reign just dropped on HBO too.
But like when she said though, I don't think like she said she doesn't choose her victims. Like it has to be super random.
Yeah.
And I think that's very smart because then it's harder to pinpoint a pattern. Like let's say if you investigate something, if it's random, so then they can't be like, okay, it's this type of person. So, you know, you can kind of narrow it down and try to trap them into, you know, catching them, right? Like using someone as bait if you know what their targets are. But the way it's kind of explained is, you know, it's just completely random, you know, so.
Which is interesting because she doesn't prey on like homeless people or people who would be forgotten.
Right.
The fact that it is 100% random, like there could be, there is a little bit of a thrill, which I don't think would be there if she knew that nobody would care if this person.
One of the great things that they do though is like Patrick goes out of his way to have Martin run around and talk to literally everybody in the issue.
Yeah.
Just to widen the suspect pool. I love that aspect of it because I'm kind of like wondering what's up with this character at first, and then when I got to it, I'm like, okay, like he literally interacted with everybody that we've met so far in the story, like making them a suspect.
Martin,
yeah.
Like who knows? Maybe the other serial killer is doing it thinking he's relieving this person of their pain.
Like a mercy thing. That's
like
what
a
I was
mercy
thinking.
killing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think a mercy killing would put them on the.
Yeah, why would that?
No, I know.
Put them on the pole.
Well,
martyr them basically.
Maybe.
I guess, yeah. or is it another person that knows about Sam, like kind of figured out and been like, okay, challenging her to, you know?
I hope it's somebody else that's doing things completely random, but in the opposite way. Like someone
from the city
coming
to the country,
and you have no connection to the country.
Yeah. Maybe it's her best
City
friend.
Mouse and Country Mouse.
Yeah, maybe it's her little mouse, her best friend Mouse. Maybe they have more in common than they really know.
Because she's dying
whole
anyways,
time.
right? Might as well take out the town.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm after that last page, I was like, and the reveal's so good too. Like you get the panels of all their faces, like yay, the parade. Then it's like all of a sudden, like it's 3 panels where the faces just slowly change, and then it's the turn, and it's such a good turn page where you know it's revealed what's up on the
I love that page, and I think I shared it, the one with her just relaxing afterwards in the tub. I was like, you know what? You deserve it. You deserve.
Like, good for you.
Yeah. It takes a lot to be a businesswoman in today's age. And a hardware store. Like, she's really, you know, putting in work.
And
breaking ground.
Yes.
And I love the little aspects where the little bit of blood on the paint can, the little bit of blood on the leaves. So it's like, even though she's incredibly meticulous, clean and tidy, like we say, there's still that little, you know, you can make that little mistake where, oh shit, you know, like even though you're like got the best laid plan out, like there's always that little risk of a mistake.
One little speck. Yeah.
Well, that's what like the whole kill that they showed us is her like celebrating that like I've been doing this for so many decades, nobody's the wiser. So she was kind of shaking her ass a little bit, and like so
Wiggling
soon
her
after
tail.
doing it, it came back to bite her, like,
Yeah.
which is kind of apropos.
She's got quite the rump.
Yeah,
The rumpa.
Not you saying she's thick.
Shake your rumpa. I wonder if she can move. I don't know.
I don't know.
How
How much is fur and how much is flesh, I guess.
I don't. Yeah. Hey, whatever. It's no curly pigtail, but you know.
Yeah, close enough, right?
That's
Yeah.
an issue too. There's a cute little pig girl on the cover issue too. So like
That's true. She's walking past the butcher shop with.
Oh, that's right.
That's twisted. That's pretty twisted. Yeah.
Yeah, that cover is pretty horrific.
How
man.
many did you pre-order, Joe? He's already got it slabbed.
In more ways than one. Yeah. So I mean, I was really pleasantly surprised because, you know, sometimes these books get overhyped, you know, just because of that, like Johnny said, like a gimmick that people just get overhyped about, right? But for me, I was reading it thinking that, like, okay, it's cute. It's like a children's book, but it's a murder story, a serial killer story. And like I said, it was just that last turn page for that final splash page for issue 1. And then I was like, okay, this is going to turn into an actual... He's not going to, like Johnny says, he's not just going to rely on the gimmick to tell us a great story. It's going to actually... Like, you could put this in... Like Elle was saying, like, this could be Dexter.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, you could take this, strip it down and make it like a more serious, like take it, like put it all humans and stuff, and it'd still be an interesting story, right? The gimmick isn't what makes this good. It's actually good storytelling, you know? So the gimmick just makes it cute and fun in a twisted way, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
And
it puts
I feel,
it on the
yeah. There was was it the mouse's son that was like dropped out of college or something to take care of
to
her?
take care of his
Yeah.
mom.
And I feel like there's something there, like maybe you want us to think it's him because he's kind of new to town again, and he was kind of like mousy, if you will. But I also feel like at some point maybe she will have to kill him because I feel like he is a liability in this series.
Yeah.
He feels like it. He gives that vibe.
And it's almost the same, like, because she went to college, but she came back to town for whatever reasons, right? So those two, their two stories are kind of parallel.
Yeah, they parallel. But he's like, I don't know. You're anxious, you're nervous. He's giving me weird vibes, and I'm like, am I supposed to think it's you? I don't think he's not smart enough, but he just doesn't feel like he has it in him. But I feel like at some point he's gonna play a bigger role in this.
Yeah, but fuck, man, if Patrick listens to this perchance or whatever, dude, we'd love to have you come on the show and just pick your brain and just talk about this book. It'd be so awesome. Maybe after a few issues there, so we could really, you know, you could throw
Do a
out
deep
some
dive.
of the details. Yeah, a little more of a deep dive where you can actually, you know, talk about it more freely, like, so you don't spoil it. But like, yeah, after a few issues out, it would definitely be interesting to have him on.
Have
to
our
interview.
little Blues Clues notebook.
Yeah, exactly.
With all of our clues in it.
Because I'm sure right now it must be torture for him to do interviews, right? Because he can't say too much. So you really got to bite your tongue, right? And not like slip or give away like any spoilers. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he must find it torturous to do it, fun, but torturous to do interviews right now. So yeah. Because it's definitely a story where, you know, there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. Like already the first issue, you had one at the end, right there.
Yeah.
You know, the little twist at the end. So yeah, definitely like people rightly so on social media hype this up, rightly so. Like, I don't think it got overhyped. It was good. Yeah, so
Can't wait to see where it goes, personally.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts from around the panel?
Just get this book if you haven't yet. If you have, Yeah, look out for that second
Oh.
print. Maybe they'll have a new variant for it.
Mm.
FOC with final order cutoff is today for issue 2.
Yeah.
So
rush
if
on out.
Yeah, so either if you order your books online, maybe you still have time to get in on that. All you West Coasters probably still have, I don't know what time your shops close at, but you can get in there and pre-order it. And I think I just saw a post today as well that issue 1 is going to a second printing. I think Patrick just dropped a post today about that. So that's pretty cool. It's going to a second printing. Mm-hmm. Which means the book is selling well, which is great news. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Do we know how many issues this is supposed to be? Is it
did
6?
not look.
800, I think.
I was
just kidding.
I'll take 800. That's fine.
I would say 6 to be careful, but somewhere between 5 to 8 would be normal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I would love a prequel too. I would love to see a young Sam and her
Mm-hmm.
first kill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
like I
an
said,
old Sam and her last kill. Come on. Well, I mean, pending if she survives.
Yeah.
To see if she did anything abroad before she came home.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
And what is abroad? You know, for these people, these non-person persons.
Away from home. I wasn't talking the 1940s term for women. She traveled abroad. You know what I mean?
Her voyage
Yes.
to
Mm-hmm.
a foreign land. I mean, it feels modern day, right? Yeah, it feels like it takes place now.
I would say it kind of gives me like a 90s feel.
90s? Yeah, me too. 90s, like
I feel
just
like
before the cell phones and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine it takes place in like Stars Hollow, like Gilmore Girls.
The town has that vibe though.
Yeah. Because everything's just perfect and happy, you know what I mean? They're like, hi, Miss Strong, little kids.
Those little kids. And I love how they're like, oh, we can make a copy of the key. We don't have time for that. Like, it takes 2 minutes to make a copy of a key. You're already late. What does it matter? Maybe it was the wife.
I love the title too. Like
Yeah.
Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. You know, it's got that kind of the rhyming with the like very child story. Like, that's a nice touch.
And then with the cover too. So when I initially found out about this book a couple months ago, like I was already sold between the title and then like the voyeuristic look down. I said, I'm in. I don't even care what this is about.
So it's a 6-issue series.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
I just found it. Yeah, 6-issue series. Yeah.
Okay.
Like we said last night, man, that's just the sweet spot for horror.
Yeah.
Miniseries, man.
Oh, like you said last night?
Yeah. We had David.
No, I was just kidding. I was being petty because I wasn't on it.
Oh, well, Johnny posts everything on.
No, I was just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
How dare you?
How dare you? Was I not on the hot flash?
Yeah.
I'm really happy you made it to this one because I literally read this book and I was like, Elle.
Elle.
This is the Elle book.
I want him to come paint my kids' rooms, you know? Something really whimsical and then throw in a little murder. A couple of body spots.
Like you close the bedroom door and it's a duck hanging upside down, bleeding on the beak.
Little dirt spots in the little circles.
Well, so this was our review of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees by Patrick, what's his last name again?
Horvath?
Horvath, yeah. And it's an IDW publishing release. So if you're looking to order it, it should be listed under the IDW section in the previews.
We'll be back on Tuesday. We're gonna
Thursday.
That's what I meant to say. The other day that starts with T. We're gonna be talking to Keith Cross. He's gonna be on here talking about Day Black. He's got a new volume of that coming back. Really cool stuff. So yeah. See you guys then.
Yeah.
Take it easy, y'all.